it's your girl Bounty Blue, and I am back for another R&B Divas LA review as promised, people. Okay. The ladies meet up because now they have a producer and free studio time thanks to Cesar Chavez. Okay, I don't know if that's his last name, but y'all know Cesar, the old short dude that's over the Puerto Rico project via so instead of Michel'le's boyfriend, who they worked with last episode in the studio, they came up with something, and it seems like now instead of him they're gonna have Warren Campbell as their producer. And we all know old saber-tooth tiger Warren Campbell can make a hit. Okay, we all know this, so we are looking forward to seeing the OG Warren Campbell on R&B Divas LA. Now, did you even know that Warren Campbell was an OG? Because I did not know that. Because that's the way they exclaimed and explained this young man, okay? Like, I'm just saying. Like, I knew that he put out good music and he's a great producer. I knew that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes act like a little, you know, be a little bitch ass, just a little bitch, you know what I'm saying? But you know you're a man. What you want him to do? You gotta be an asshole to be great, you know? So, you know, I don't really know, but I'm excited to see what they come up with, because I just know if it's with Warren, it's gonna be some good music. You know what I'm saying, right? And Chrisette was happy because she was feeling last episode like she didn't know if she wanted her man to be all intertwined in situations with the other ladies, because things are very flip-floppy and you will never know how a situation will turn out. Okay, Michel'le has a performance for the Martin Luther the King, as she said, festival. She asked for Cynthia and Lil I'm just saying Cynthia, Lil Mo, and Chrisette to come and see her perform. But of course, because this is on Crenshaw, everybody worried about getting shot on Crenshaw. Now, I live in New Orleans, and in New Orleans you can get shot on any street. It can go down anywhere. Yes, more concentrated in certain neighborhoods, but definitely can go down anywhere. So I personally don't have the same fear of such places. Like, I feel like if it's my time to get shot, then I'm probably gonna get shot. But if the Lord is watching over me like he always does, then I think I will be okay. Because, like, trust me, if I haven't gotten robbed, raped, or fucking assaulted in New Orleans yet, I think it's because the Lord is on my shoulder. Like, I really believe that that's the reason why. They still are going to go to the performance because Michel'le tells them that they have really done some building up, okay? And it looks good on Crenshaw, and it'll come through, and they're gonna be so surprised. They're gonna have a good time. And I'm like, yeah. Chrisette has her album Lyricist Opus coming out, okay? And she's talking to her mother on Skype, and her mom basically gives her the news that she gonna have to pay for Lyricist Opus out her own pocket, okay? No record label money for you, not this time, papi, no. So she has to pay for everything out her own pocket, and, like, you know, make sure that the music comes out right. You know, she has more things to worry about now, so it's really important how this album comes out, and it's different from all her other previous albums, okay? So, I mean, I just know it's gonna be good, because when I heard what she did in the studio, y'all, she's in the studio and she's working with this producer Will, and she's got wings on, and, you know, there's violins and there's horns, y'all. I can't tell y'all how much I love horns in some damn music. Violins and horns, come on now. That's all me right there. That sounds like some all me type shit that I'm gonna really enjoy from Chrisette Michele. Because the stuff she was singing in the studio was beautiful. Like when she was like, I'm high, I'm low, whatever that was, that shit was beautiful. Like, I was like, I can't wait to hear Chrisette Michele. Like, I know you said you don't want to be on R&B Divas LA anymore because of the evil things that people said, but I wanted you to realize that it didn't matter whether you was the perfect person on television. Somebody was going to have something negative to say, because people are assholes, and now that the internet is everywhere, people are free to be assholes behind their computers. And you shouldn't stop doing what you're doing just because of that, because at the end of the day, this show is reading you well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you come off very genuine, you come off very sweet to me, but you also come off like about it type chick. You about your business, and I respect that. And you also are about your art, and that's important to me as well, because there's so many people out here that are famous, or that sing, or that perform, and have that great platform, and they're not any good. Like, at least not as talented as Chrisette Michele is. So I just really feel like, you know, she should rethink that, because her being on this platform is going to make that album sell, whether she has the machine behind her back or not, just because it's on this show. You know what I'm saying? So that alone is a benefit. So I really think that she should just think about that. She doesn't have to do this, but I like seeing her in this capacity. So it's time for Michel'le's performance, and all the girls come through to support Michel'le because they know she's going through some things right now. So when she gets there, her music director comes up to her and tells her that she has to do a 30-minute set and not the 15-minute set that she had prepared for. Well, seeing as though she just about killed herself a little while ago, this took her from here to here to here, and it was just like gone. And she was just like sitting there babbling and shit, and she was like, it's not real in my life. This is not real in my life. Like, who is real in my life right now? Who is real in my life? Like, she was just going off. And y'all, no fucking jokes. Like, I'm not even gonna do the voice because I feel like that takes what's going on with her to play, and that's not what I intend. But I also don't like for shit to get so heavy all the time. But because of what happened with Robin Williams, and this shit tied in so well, talking about depression. And y'all, I've said it before in my MF and advice videos, if you've seen those, and you should go and watch them, because like it really gives you an insight to who I am. Because I feel like a lot of y'all watch these reviews of television shows and you assume you know who I am, and I don't really feel like you are even getting any of who I really am from what I do for a review on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So those videos are a little bit more along the lines of who I am. But what I have to say is that I go through the same thing. Okay? Like, Lyric can attest to this. I have very high highs and I have very low lows. I will go from happy and content to down here for no apparent fucking reason besides a thought in my head. Okay, I can get very wrapped up in my own head. I have paranoid schizophrenia that runs in my family, like a lot of black people, a lot of people, period. So I have to be mindful of myself. I have to be mindful of my depression. I have to be mindful of how I feel about myself and about my life. And I have to like outwardly be positive and make a effort to be positive and be happy, because it is so easy for me to be wrapped up in my own head and have suicidal thoughts. I've tried to kill myself before. So I understand where Michel'le is coming from. I know what that feels like to be in that place and you just can't get out of it. It's not really something you can control like people think it is. It's more so learning how to control something that you have a really fucking hard time with. So when she was going through the motions and saying everything that she was going through, I totally understood what she was saying. So she goes out there to perform after the ladies try to convince her that it'll be okay whatever she does. She goes out there and performs, and the sound isn't right, and she's like pointing at her ear and trying to say that y'all can't hear me and making faces and being funky, but still like being obviously irritated on stage. So she walks off stage and comes back on and sings Something in My Heart, and the crowd goes fucking crazy, and finally we can hear her on the microphone, because you couldn't hear her at all. It was really bad. So she performs that song, and that turned out to be a great performance, but she still walked off stage feeling like shit. So Lil Mo and Leela decide that they're going to talk to her over at Lil Mo's house, because they both feel like this shit is getting out of hand. The way she was behaving was depression, and maybe she needs help. And even though Leela wants to pray to Jesus about everything and drink, you know, and just get over it, shit, you know what I'm saying, she realizes that this is like a real clinical mental disease that Michel'le needs to get help for. And Michel'le comes over, and she's got these big old sunglasses on, and she's been crying and her eyes are puffy. And they asked her what's wrong, and she was just saying, you know, I've been being irresponsible, like I don't care, because I've just been feeling really down on myself. And she feels like nobody is there for her. Everybody in her life leaves her, and nobody really loves her. She has this child that she has to live for and be an example for, and she doesn't even know how to do that. She feels like she's failing her daughter. They're looking at her like, all we see from you is love. All we see from you is you being a good mother. So you really need to get out of your own head. And I really understand how hard that is. I really do. And that's why, you know, I wanted to take this situation very seriously, because I really can relate. And it's something to say this shit. It's something to say get out your own head. It's something to say be positive. But it's a whole nother thing to actually make yourself happy and do things that make you happy, and you know, whatever it is, and keep happy thoughts in your head, and not let negative things or things that happen bring you all the way down to that's all you thinking about. Once it happens, you deal with it and you get over it. Stop carrying it with you. And I feel like because Michel'le had a fucked up childhood where her parents were passing her to different people, and then, you know, she gets in these relationships with these abusive men, and that's because she doesn't know how to receive love the way she's supposed to receive it, so she doesn't know how to seek that out. It's obvious that because she had a messed up childhood that she wanted to be with men who she felt like were possessive, but they also come abusive. But you know, I'm just saying, those are all signs of somebody that has deeper issues than they are really prepared to deal with. So she talks to them and she says that she's gonna go and get help because she's been self-medicating, and that's some bullshit because she hasn't been doing pills. And I'm like, well, damn, bitch, what you been doing? I mean, if you smoking, do we really call that self-medicating? You know what I'm saying? Like, please don't be doing dope, Michel'le. That's not cool. She goes to see a therapist, and the therapist is all soft talking and shit, and she just explains her, you know, the things that happened in her childhood, and you know, just commits to coming back and staying with the therapy so that she can get better and be a happier person. So I'm really praying for Michel'le, and I hope that she gets through it, and I hope that she, you know, doesn't succumb. She talked about missing her grandmother, and y'all know she said that her grandmother starved herself to death, and there was some reasons behind that and everything, and she went off the rails when she died, and since then it just seems like she just hasn't been able to consistently stay. The ladies go to the studio, Warren Campbell, and Michel'le used to babysit Warren Campbell, and it's like, damn, how old is everybody around this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think they were a little bit closer in age, but damn, like, Warren, what are you, 12? Like, what, huh? Anyway, I don't know, y'all, whatever. So they sit down with him and tell him that, you know, they're happy to work with him because he's Warren Campbell, okay? And they have to look professional, but at the same time, as they're trying to, you know, relay what they worked on with Chrisette's boyfriend, they can't remember any of the song. They no, that's not it either. They don't know what the hell going on, okay? And Warren is looking at them like, okay, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do a whole new thing. We're gonna do one song and we're gonna freak it 2 different ways because I got 6 people. We don't need 6 leads on each song. So, you know, they're gonna make it work. They're gonna make it twerk. But of course, Shantae Moore feels like, I don't understand why they can't have 6 leads. And I'm like, come on now, you can't have 6 leads on no goddamn one song. Stop that. Stop that, okay? Everybody should do what they're good at and have their voice heard on the record. But at the end of the day, it's what sounds right. Not having all y'all feel like a solo artist. Like, at the end of the day, you're doing a group activity, bitch. Group it up. That was basically everything that happened, you guys. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video because sharing is caring. I love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Deuces. Mwah!